So I grew up Christian, but unfortunately, I never felt fully resonant with the Christian faith. Now, before I get into this video, I'll just say right now, I love Jesus. I wear the cross because I love Jesus. I'm a Christian mystic. And it's my belief that the path to God is through inner union. And that Jesus was not the Son of God, but was just like all of us, a man who perfectly embodied our divinity and what God already exists within us. And by Jesus showing us that path and showing us that way, we are able to recognize the God within us. By following Jesus' path, we're able to realize that union within ourselves. And so I love Jesus. I follow Jesus' teachings. I love Jesus' teachings like the Gospel of Thomas. Fucking love it. I'll probably talk about the Gospel of Thomas in the story. But I just wanted to make that preface real quick. I'm a Christian mystic. And I want to tell you how I got here. So I grew up Christian, but I never felt very resonant with my church, with the church in general. I always felt like I loved Jesus, always felt like I loved God, had a connection. But in terms of like the hypocrisy of a lot of Christianity, the judgment in a lot of Christianity, fearing God, hell, so many Christian doctrines just like never felt right in my heart. And so I kind of like stayed away from Christianity a lot. I'm thankful, like my grandparents are a deaconess. They were a deacon and deaconess of the church. My grandfather is actually a reverend now. But basically, I'm glad that my grandparents are extremely like devout Christians, but they never like forced that onto me. That was always around me. They always like, like prayed for me and stuff like that. They always had me around like God and spirituality and stuff like that, but they never imposed like going to church on me or like, hey, you got to read the Bible or anything like that, right? I never had anything like that. And I'm grateful for that because I feel like if I did, I probably would have had a much harder journey leaving Christianity and also getting over my judgment of it when I stepped away from fundamentalism. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Basically, when I got to like 12, my dad, so I grew up, my parents had never been together my whole life. I'm actually the product of their last hookup. And so basically, when I was like 12, 13, my dad and my stepmom, my little brothers, we started going to this church. I'm from New Jersey. This church in Montclair called Montclair Community Church. And I fucking love that church. MCC, yo, shout out MCC and the pastors at MCC. What's some real dudes over there, bro? Those guys, and their like youth group, that really was like what started, in my opinion, what really like opened like my spiritual journey. What really opened my heart to Jesus. I started learning about like Jesus and his teachings and just about the Bible more. And I'm like, yo, God is fucking sick, bro. Like, what? Like, this guy, Jesus, is the bomb, bro. Right? And I started feeling this connection. I even, like, I've never been baptized. I still haven't. I want to be, though. With this, like, this new paradigm of baptism I have. But I started getting this, like, inclination, this, like, pull to be baptized when I was, like, 12, 13. But I never did because it felt like I was getting myself too deep into something that I didn't actually want to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would articulate it now. I never understood this, but there have been, like, a handful of times throughout my life where I felt like I wanted to get baptized, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because it felt like I would have been giving myself to something I didn't really know I was giving myself to. Right? And man, this is so crazy. It's so crazy. I'll talk about this in a bit to see like how this happened to me last year before I got into mysticism. But basically, after 13, so my family, we actually, my dad, my stepmom, my younger brothers and I, we actually moved from New Jersey down to Georgia in 2017. Now, I actually only stayed for a year because I just wasn't rocking with it. And so I went back to New Jersey. And when I'm back in Jersey in high school, I didn't really have much like spirituality, honestly. Like, I always believed in God, always believed in a higher power, always felt that connection as well. But it just wasn't something that I like really put any like effort into, right? So outside of like, you know, the occasional astrology post on Instagram, I didn't really have much like interest in spirituality in high school. Now, fast forward to me in first quarter of 2023, or let's just say May 2023. I'm down bad, heartbroken. This was basically like the last couple months of my first year of college, my only year of college. I only went for a year. I was down bad. I was heartbroken. This girl who I was basically obsessed with, and that I wanted to be with, but didn't want to get in a relationship with me. Right? I'd had like some fun with her. We'd had a month where we were like, you know, having like these times together. We were fucking. We were like hooking up. We were having some like romantic times, intimate moments, and stuff like that. And then she sensed my simp and my needy behavior, and so she left and she went and fucked the bad boy. So that fucking broke me, bro, right? Because I was already broken, and then I was like, oh, so I'm really nothing? I'm really not good enough? Cool, I'm just gonna act that way. And so I was just like living in escapism. I'd wake up, I'd get high, I'd fucking fap, I'd fucking binge video games, I'd binge content, I'd fucking drink, I'd fucking, you know, go fuck this girl, that one, I'd binge a bunch of food, I'd come back, I'd get high more, I'd, you know, go to sleep, and then I'd repeat the whole day over and over again. Right? It's like, it was just escapism all fucking day, every day, for 5 months straight. And then I found a video that popped up on my YouTube that said, I forgot actually which one it was, but it was a video by Captain Sinbad. And I don't remember if it was this one, but it was the video that he made called How to Make the Greatest Comeback of Your Life. That was the video that got me on the self-improvement in 2023, May 2023. After that, I was like, wait, I can do things, I can be better, and then I can fucking like get revenge on this girl who just broke my heart and like prove to her that she should have chose me. Yo, say fucking less, bro. So I started going hard. Not really, I didn't really start going hard. But I really just started learning. I wanted to start going hard. Anyways, I decided to leave New Jersey. I was going to college in New Jersey. I decided to leave there, come back to Georgia. And I started like reprogramming my mind. I stopped watching content on like the YouTube channel that I basically like had growing up, that I like made my first like 100 YouTube videos on when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. That I like basically just watched fucking entertainment and like brain rot content on. I made a new YouTube channel, which is actually my old YouTube channel that I got to 1.3k subs on, that I did like my first stint of like 101 days of daily uploads that like basically got me into being a YouTuber. I made that channel, and on that channel, I think I followed like 5 people at first. It was Dr. K from Healthy Gamer GG, Andrew Huberman, Alex Hormozy, Ali Abdal, and then Captain Sinbad, right? Eventually I found Chris from First Man. I started fucking with Layla Hormozy as well. Love Layla. I feel like there's someone else I'm forgetting. But eventually, in November, I found Hamza. And Hamza was the guy who like took me to the next level. Hamza recommended me a book, The Way of the Superior Man, that's subtitled A Spiritual Guide to Mastering the Challenges of Women, Work, and Sexual Desire. The Way of the Superior Man, that, in my opinion, was really what started my spiritual journey. It gave me these paradigms of like the masculine, feminine dynamics. Now, I will say actually, Dr. K over from Healthy Gamer GG, he was starting to open me up to yoga, to like Hindu spirituality. And so I was starting to get open to like non-duality, esotericism, mysticism. I didn't know it at the time, but Dr. K was like opening my consciousness and my paradigm to these things. And then Way of the Superior Man started laying more groundwork. But then in December of 2023, I was starting to feel kind of good about life. You know, I'd actually did this like 3-week stint where I was like, actually 4 weeks, where I basically uploaded to YouTube like damn near every single day from like the 7th of December from like to like January 2nd or 3rd, I think. And so I was like, you know, feeling good. I was on self-improvement. I joined Hamza's program, Adonis School, paid $500 to get in there. And I was learning so much. I was connecting with people. I was just feeling good about where I was at. Like I'd made a fuck ton of progress compared to when I was in hell, you know, 5 months ago. And so me and my family had actually, my dad and my stepmom, they'd actually went to this church called Change Church, and they went there last weekend. This was actually the second to last week of the year of December 2023, right? They went to this church because they wanted to start going to a church, right? They wanted to find a new one, and they really enjoyed it, and so they brought us to the church on New Year's. So this is New Year's 2023, and in the service, the pastor, his name is Dr. Darius Daniels, super amazing. Highly recommend his stuff. He has he makes content on YouTube. He had said something, I don't remember exactly what, but he said something along the lines of like, if you made it to the end of this year and you didn't know, like you were in a hard place, you didn't know how you were going to make it, it's because God got you through it. And when he said that, it's just like this click of insight in my mind where I was just like, holy shit, no duh. It's like there was no way I got myself through that pit of hell. I didn't know how I was going to get out of there. There were days, weeks, months of my life where I literally lived like not knowing how I would make progress, feeling so fucking bad, so low, so unworthy. I literally didn't know how I was going to get out of hell. And yet here I was on December feeling like I'd gotten out of hell. And so when Pastor Darius, he says this to me, I'm like, holy shit. Of course God got me out of that. It was just like this beautiful moment and like this epitome. And I was like, oh man, like, I need God, bro. It's like, it's that simple. And so at that point, I started wanting to be more open to Christianity and really start exploring that, right? Now, I wasn't trapped in like a Christian paradigm because like I told you, like Dr. K had been opening me up to yoga and Hindu spirituality. And I'd actually copped Dr. K's meditation course and was learning a lot more about yoga and like that kind of spirituality. And I was loving it. So I was not going to be in this like fundamentalist, like boxed in Christian paradigm. I didn't want to do that because I didn't see that as like the truth of reality. You know what I mean? I've never been someone who has seen one religion or spiritual tradition and seen like, oh, that's the only way. That's always been absurd to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like as a kid, I'm not gonna lie. Like I had this intuition as a kid, which is why I'm so passionate about like my spiritual philosophy now. I would see like the three Abrahamic traditions, right? Christianity, Islam, Judaism. I'm like, bro, all of these religions came from the core of Judaism. All three of these traditions have the exact same ancestors. They all have the same roots. They all point to the same exact God. And yet, you're right. And yet we're right and both of you are wrong. That's how all three of them operate. All three of them operate. We're right. You guys are wrong. And it's like, hold up. Everybody says this. Every religion, every spiritual tradition, damn near, right? Most of them say, we're right. We know God. You guys are out. You guys are wrong. We're in, you're out. We're right, you're wrong. And because we're right and you're wrong, we can do things to make you right. AKA the Catholics. Killing people because they didn't convert. Killing people in the name of Christ. Holy shit, how Jesus would have fucking blasphemed those motherfuckers, bro. What? I think that's insane. That's insanity, bro. That's insanity. Killing people in the name of Jesus? What? That's bonkers, bro. That's bonkers. That's beyond bonkers to me, bro. Jesus would have probably slapped the fuck out of you if you did some shit like that. Probably not. Jesus didn't believe in violence, but you know what I mean? It's like he definitely would have. He definitely would have gave you some words. He would have gave you some words for sure. Ah, shit. So anyway, so I'm at this place now where it's like December 2023, right? And I'm like getting to this place where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to start exploring Christianity more. And so there was this point, the first couple of weeks of January 2024, right? Where I am watching like some Christian content, right? I started binging these like videos from over on, I forgot the channel name, but it's basically like this YouTube channel that makes like animated Bible videos. Yo, their videos are so sick, bro. I swear, their stuff is so cool, bro. So I started like binging that kind of stuff. There's this YouTuber. His name is I Am Beggar, and he makes like animated videos as well on like Christian topics. he made this one video about praying, and it resonated so deeply with me. So I wanted to try out the prayer, and I wanted to just get into that, right? I'm gonna be real. Prayer has always been like something kind of iffy for me, right? Because growing up, I would like see my grandmother or my grandfather pray, or, you know, like the leader of our church. And I always thought there was like a correct way to pray. And I always thought, like, oh, I don't know the right way to pray, so I'm not going to, right? But, you know, then this video came up with this paradigm of like, oh, there's no really like no right way to pray. Prayer is about opening yourself, opening your heart to God's presence, allowing God to, you know, like, allowing God into your life and into your heart, right? It's about recognizing and establishing that connection with God, right? It's about opening yourself and then being willing to show up. You see what I'm saying? And so it kind of just got me out of this, like, you can pray right or wrong, or there's like, you got to say these things or this thing. I mean, it just got me into this place of like, okay, I want to like open myself. I want to show gratitude for God, to the things that God has brought into my life. I want to ask God for guidance and for wisdom so that, you know, I can, you know, go where I want to go. And so I started doing this prayer, and I just started, like, it was just so heartfelt and so devotional, where I just felt like all I wanted to do was devote to God and just show my appreciation, show my love, and just feel God. And I swear to God, like, honestly, I'm like, ew, like I start getting my chills when I think about this shit, bro. I'm here, and I say, like, God, reveal your presence to me. I literally ask God, like, I want to feel your presence. Reveal your presence to me. And I'm sitting in my chair, and all I feel is just this, like, overwhelming, like, weight on my body. Like, I feel it all over my arms, all over, like, in my chest, in my legs. Like, I feel like, I almost feel like I'm being, like, hugged all around me. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? Right? I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I just feel this overwhelming sense of just like presence, of like my entire body just feels like encompassed in this like beingness. And the only thing, like, the only like the only thing I could take away from that situation was like, wow, God is love. It's like, bro, like, all I could feel was like, it's like, if that's not love, I don't know what is. This overwhelming sense of feeling completely immersed, completely absorbed, completely taken in, completely one. I felt like there was no me and there was only God. All I felt was God's presence. And in that moment, I was like, oh wow, I have met God. And God is love. Holy shit, this is awesome. What the fuck is happening? And I didn't know it then, but that was my first mystical experience. And that was when the dissonance really started. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that I've never resonated with the fearing God doctrine of Christianity, right? And it's because inherently I don't believe, like, for me, like, this, how can God be all loving, all forgiving, all merciful, and I should also fear that God is going to send me to hell forever? How do these coexist harmoniously? Like, harmoniously, I mean. Well, what are you talking about? Like, but then after I had my mystical experience, I was like, what is there to fear? God is love. Period. And so it was tough, because I was still in this, like, Christian paradigm. That was gross. Excuse me. I had to spit. That was really gross. Oh, shit. And it was tough because I was like stuck and I didn't really know where to go. I started learning more about Christianity throughout January, throughout February. And I felt like, man, like all I want to do is talk about how much I love God and how amazing God is. But I'm like, I'm starting getting this desire to be like a spiritual teacher and to like guide people and to like basically give myself to like Jesus's gospel and to like spread Jesus's message and to like share his teachings. But there was something in me where I was just like, but is like Christianity really the message I want to spread? Is like fearing God really like eternal conscious torment? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. That one's kind of sus. It's a bit sus, bro. And so it was tough. And I was dissonant for a long time. In March, this was when everything changed. In March, I discovered a podcast. It was the Know Thyself podcast. The first one I saw was actually Stephen Pressfield's, the guy who wrote The War of Art. It was his video. And then after that, it was Gabby Klavenko. And she introduced me to non-duality. This was in March 2024. After this, my entire reality shifted. I was just like, I am one with God. I am like a fractal of the source. This is like what I was learning from Dr. K, like the yogic teachings. But non-duality was actually like this term that I could like really play with and understand. I was like, holy shit. Things appear dualistic, but they're really not. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And then the next month, in April of 2024, another Know Thyself podcast with Aaron Abke that says, that's about basically Jesus and how Jesus' gospel has really been lost for 2,000 years, his true message. I see this video, I'm like, what the fuck? Click. 20 minutes into this video, I'm like, after 2 hours, I'm like, and then I started binging Aaron's content. Binging. And Aaron's been my spiritual teacher for the last year. Now, from April through August, those 4 months of 2024, I was absolutely obsessed with learning all things esotericism, mysticism, non-dual spirituality. I read the Kabbalion, I read the Gospel of Thomas, I studied the Law of One, I studied Taoism, I studied just so many traditions, right? And in August of 2024, August 6th, actually, this was literally 2 days before I got married to my ex-wife. It wasn't like a legal union. I mean, it wasn't legal, like the government, it was a spiritual union, right? Fuck the government. But 2 days before I got married to my ex-wife, right, I had my second mystical experience. I was out on a walk. I was smoking a joint. And I was listening to one of Aaron's lectures. And I was kind of high, right? And I was outside walking, and I heard Aaron say something. I don't remember what it was. But it just made something click in my consciousness. And I started seeing the clouds in the skies. I started seeing the trees all around me. I was looking around at the dirt on the ground and the ground above me. And I just started laughing maniacally. I was like, holy shit. I am connected to everything. Everything is one. Duality is an illusion. Holy shit. All of this shit is an illusion. And I kid you not, I was laughing like a psychopath for like 3 minutes straight, bro. I swear to God. And I literally felt like I was perceiving everything like and seeing it perfectly. I saw like the geometry of the fucking leaves on the trees, and I'm like, holy shit, this is perfectly designed. I saw the clouds in the skies, and I'm like, holy shit, this is perfectly designed by God. I looked down, and I felt connected to the ground. I looked over to that dirt to the right of me, actually, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm one with this earth. I'm one with the fucking ground on my feet. I'm one with these trees. I'm one with those clouds in the sky. I am one with everything. Duality is an illusion. Nothing is separate. What is happening? That was my second mystical experience. I kid you not. I was just in this like awe state of like, holy shit. All of this shit is just in here. It's all constructions of the mind, bro. That shit, that was when things started getting dark. So I told you guys that my second mystical experience, this was 2 days before I got married. After I got married to my wife, my ex-wife, I was so deep into lust, right? I was fucking the shit out of her all the time, right? And I started getting, like, I was so attached to, like, sexuality and also wanting to please her. I started, fucking, like, watching porn again. I started, like, fapping. I started, like, busting when I couldn't have sex with her. I started coping and saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch porn. I'm gonna, like, train my stamina so that I can, like, have sex with my wife for longer. That was bullshit. I was coping. I started, being super trapped in lust. I was distracted. I was unclear with my mission, with my purpose, with YouTube. And I was overall just in this place of like, everything's love, everything's light, everything's good, man. Everything's chill, bro. It's all love and it's all light. It's all amazing, man. But I wasn't really living in, like, the physical world. I wasn't really living on Earth. There was a conversation I had with my dad. I'm gonna be real, guys. Like, I don't regret my relationship with my ex-wife, but if, like, me now, like, if I had a situation like that now, there's no way I would have, like, married that woman. Like, me now would have married that woman. You know what I mean? I kid you not, guys. Like, I met my ex-wife on YouTube. She found me through one of my videos through my old channel, right? She became one of my clients. Like, she joined my program. We became business partners a few weeks later, and then we got married a few weeks later. I kid you not. We went from strangers on the internet to married in, like, 2 months. We didn't know who we were beginning of June, and by August 8th, we were married. So that was very fast, right? When I told my dad I wanted to marry her, he was like, what in your mind is telling you, like, what in your right mind is telling you that, like, you should be marrying her? And I'm like, well, that's the thing. I'm not using my mind. I'm using my heart. And he was like, that's the issue. And for me, I was operating from this, like, spiritual, like, oh yeah, it's all in the heart. This is what God's plan is. This is God's guiding us. I don't need this. I just need this. And it's like, that's fair to an extent, right? And I'm glad I went down that path because now I have wisdom and discernment. And so now I will use this in the future. You see what I'm saying? But, that conversation with my dad was like the perfect example of like, oh yeah, Jaden's he's not on Earth. He's in like cosmic Luau land. And I see a lot of spiritual motherfuckers there in cosmic Luau land. I like to call this the non-duality trap. Non-duality trap is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, bro. And if you don't recognize that spiritual ego, this is ego. Spiritual ego is keeping you in the non-duality trap. It wants to keep you in mystical Luau land because real life is hard and ego doesn't want to deal with the uncomfortabilities of real life. If you don't realize that spiritual ego is keeping you here, you're going to stay here and you're not going to come back down to earth. And if you never come back down to earth, you're never going to give your gift to the earth that God put you here to fucking give. Your life is meant to be lived here on the earth. And I really only realized this after me and my ex-wife, we split up, because I fell off. I stopped being that, like, super ambitious and hot and fucking, like, I'm gonna make life my bitch. I stopped having that energy that attracted her because I stopped feeling like that. It was all good. I already had the woman. I already had everything's all good. It's all love and light, baby. What do you mean? I lost my desire. You can't do that, bro. Can't do that. When you get ungrounded because you're too in the cosmos, things are bad. That's usually spiritual bypassing. Things are going on in your life and you're not willing to face the reality of your human experience because you're like, oh, well, that's an illusion. It doesn't matter. Everything's all love, right? It's like, yes, everything is all love. And life is real. We live in a polarized universe where two things can simultaneously be true at once. And in fact, both things being true at once is the entire truth. There's a Hermetic axioms that all truths are half-truths. Why? Because all things are dual in our polarized universe. And you can only see the entirety of the perspective if you bring the two half-truths together to see the full truth. And so yes, while it is all love and light from the absolute perspective of God, it's also fucking real. Life's hard from your relative perspective of being a human. So you need to hold both because both are simultaneously true. Let me tell you this. Let me just give you this lesson right now. As a mystic, paradox is your greatest frenemy. That motherfucker is going to trip you up, is going to confuse you. You're going to be like, what is happening? How are both of these things true? But if you can hold both perspectives, if you can see that these twos aren't opposites battling each other, but they're actually polarities complementing each other, balancing one another. Damn, I don't have the yin yang on today. Rip. That's why I love the yin yang, actually. But when you can recognize that, that is when you stop seeing things as dualistic and you start seeing things as one. That's how you transcend duality. The non-duality trap is that you're still in a dualistic paradigm because you think that the absolute perspective is the only perspective. This is still only one side of the equation. Do you see what I'm saying here? You're a human being. You need both perspectives. I was at the library a few days ago, and there's this like collection of like collection of wisdom. I don't know. It's called Man, Myth, and Magic. It's like this huge volume of like basically history, like basically what mankind has. I mean, it like the title, Man, Myth, and Magic. And so it's on men, humanity, it's on our myths, our mythology, it's on magic, right? The occult, spirituality, stuff like that. Okay, awesome. I was reading up in it because I wanted to see anything it had on Hermeticism, on Hermetica, right? I'm working on a course called Mental Alchemy Mastery. And so there was this quote in it, and I just fucking loved it. And I wanna read it to you. Where the fuck is it? Come on! Okay, wait, no, that's not it. Is this it? I think this one's it. Alright. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Here's how here's the quote. Because man combines a godlike and a mortal nature, he is superior to lesser gods who are only immortal, and to other creatures who are only mortal. And for the same reason, he can create gods. These are among the ideas of the Hermetic texts of the early centuries AD. That was from Man, Myth, and Magic, Volume 9. I love this quote. Man has a godlike and a mortal nature. Right? Like, earlier when I was talking about how Jesus isn't the Son of God, but how Jesus reflects that we are all the Son of God. Jesus perfectly embodied the divinity that lives within all of us. We are not we're not 100% mortal, right? Because we have our spirit, we are spiritual beings. But we're also not 100% immortal, because we live on earth. We have bodies. We're mortals, right? But we're also not half mortal, half immortal. No. We are 100% immortal and 100% mortal. You are simultaneously both. Both. The absolute and the relative. The spiritual man and the worldly man, the physical man. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, it says that the intellectual man is the bridge between the spiritual man and the material man. It's the mind that bridges the spirit, the cosmos, and the physical reality. And so it's the mind that must be trained. It's the mind that must be worked on. And so I need you to get out of this paradigm of like, I'm only up there or I'm only down here. No. You need to be down here because that's where you live, on fucking earth. And then you need to go up there at times, and then you need to come back. You need to always have access, right? You need to have your feet planted in the earth while having your head in the cosmos. That's kind of like how I like to operate. Guys, the thing is, you're meant to be here on earth. That's why you're here on earth. Like, this physical reality is lit. I want you to think about this. Demonic entities, like spirits that don't have a physical vessel, literally want to enter your mind so that they can take over your physical vessel and have experience in this physical reality. I literally just told you there are spiritual beings who want to infiltrate your body so that they can have this physical experience. That should tell you that this physical experience is probably pretty fucking valuable, right? You should treat it as such. This physical experience is here to serve you. It's here to teach you wisdom so that you can experience God's love at a greater clarity. Life is all love and wisdom. That's it. Life is meant to be loved, to be lived, to be enjoyed. But we live in a polarized universe where shit is real and shit is hard. And so we need wisdom, discernment, so that we can discern truth from falsity. So that we can say, oh, this serves me and this doesn't. I'm going to go this way, I'm going to not go this way. I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to not do this thing. I'm going to fuck with these people, I'm going to leave those people behind because they don't serve me. In our polarized reality, we need wisdom. Because there are going to be things that seem like love, but are really not. Like those toxic motherfuckers who say, oh, I love you, baby, except they hit on you. Like those friends who say, oh, yeah, bro, I support you, bro. But when you need them, are they there for you like you're there for them? You need wisdom. You need discernment so that you can experience this love that God has at a greater clarity. Because there are going to be people who want to take advantage of your love. There are going to be people who want to take your love, take your energy, and who won't give you anything back for it. And so we need to learn so that we can choose where to go. We can choose the way of life or the way of death. Life is all about love and wisdom, right? Like, a lot of spiritual motherfuckers, or like even self-improvement motherfuckers, they start getting on this path of like bettering themselves, and then they're more depressed because they're living like too rigid lives. You don't even like your life. It's like, bro, wasn't the point of this shit to like life? Didn't you start doing this so you weren't depressed? So you actually love life again? What are we talking about, bro? So why aren't you doing the things that you love? Why aren't you moving in a way that it's like, oh yeah, I want to prioritize loving life. I want to prioritize fun maxing. I want to prioritize joy maxing. I want to prioritize being who God has called me to be, doing the things that I have desire for. Your entire life is about gaining wisdom so that you can experience more and more and more love. That's it. That's literally all. And so you're here so that you can learn lessons, so that you can alchemize those lessons into, greater experience. So you can alchemize those experiences into greater levels of awareness. You can expand your consciousness. And as you expand your consciousness, as you expand your sense of self, you expand your capacity to love. Since love is inherently self-transcendent, you can only expand your capacity to love by expanding your sense of self. And so when you stop identifying with just who you are, right? When you start giving of yourself to a greater community, a greater sense of self to your family, or to your tribe, or to your mission, or to your partner, or to God, to the whole fucking world, to the cosmos. As you expand your sense of self, you expand your sense of love, your capacity to love. And as you can love greater, as you can give more love, you can receive more as well. But this expansion, this capacity can only come if you have the wisdom, the discernment to say, that ain't love, that's bullshit. Get that out of here. I need you to come back down to earth, to integrate. You've been to the cosmos. You've been studying the mystical traditions. You've been studying spirituality. You've had your mystical experiences. Come back down to reality and give us that wisdom. That's what I'm doing here right now, right? Back in October of last year, after me and my ex-wife split up, I got out of spiritual woo-wah land. I came back to earth, and I started fucking improving again. I started making progress again. And I started integrating. I started, obsessing about, integrating my shadow, integrating these dark aspects of myself, right? And for me, it's been so beautiful, right? For me, I come here and I show up. I'm like a spiritual philosopher who loves dark humor, who curses every other sentence, who wishes he rode around in Jesus' inner circle. I'm not your average, spreader of the gospel. Right? Because I don't fucking want to be. That's not who God made me to be. God didn't make me to be some, non-potty mouth motherfucker. God didn't make me as someone who doesn't have an insane sex drive and likes talking about sex and likes talking about women. That's not how God made me. So I don't want to act that way. I acted that way for 10 years and I hated my fucking life. When I was acting that way, when I was up here in spiritual woo-wah land, I didn't like myself. I walk around with the hugest pair of fucking balls ever. I'm fucking God's gift to this earth because God damn it, I fucking am. I am. That's how I feel. And that's how you should feel too. You need that arrogance. These spiritual motherfuckers will tell you, oh, just be more humble. Oh, you shouldn't have desire. Oh, you shouldn't have arrogance. Fuck that shit, bro. Fuck all that pussy ass shit. That shit is whack. I want you to be humble. Because you are jack shit. You are nothing without God. That is a fact. And then once you do that, and once you understand there's always more to learn, there's always, more things to integrate, there's always things to improve. Of course. Have a student mindset. Always be open to learning. And then walk around like you have the biggest pair of balls or ovaries ever. Like you are the hottest shit this universe has ever fucking seen. Because god damn it, you fucking are. You understand me? God made you fucking beautiful. And you don't even know it. Because you've had all these fucking people tell you you're not. Fuck those people! You understand me? Bro. Yo, fuck all the bullshit, bro. There is something in you. There is something in you that needs to be out. There's something that you feel called to give. But you're not giving it because you're not on earth right now. You're in fucking spiritual woo-wah land. This is like the monk who fucking let's say you're like if you know the monk who sold his Ferrari, this is such a perfect example. In that book, right, there's a big shot lawyer. His name is Julian. He's a fucking killer, right? He's been a killer lawyer for the past 20 years, but he's like depressed. He kind of hates his life. He's overweight. He has horrible health, right? This guy literally passes out and has this like crazy like health situation in the middle of a fucking case. In the middle of the courtroom, this guy passes out. It's like this whole drama, right? He basically realizes that he hates his life. He sells his house. He sells his red Ferrari. He sells everything. He goes to India to go be a fucking monk. 3 years later, this guy comes back completely different person, and he comes and he gives the wisdom. He went out to the mountains, right? He like went out to the Himalayas. He meditated in the mountains. He found God, and then he came back to spread the fucking gospel, to spread the good news, right? If you went out into the Himalayas to meditate and find God, and then you found that motherfucker, but you haven't come back to spread the good news, you're playing yourself. You understand me? You should not be out there in the fucking mountains. You need to be right here. Give me your fucking gift. The fuck? What are you doing, bro? Holy shit. This shit pisses me off, bro. Holy fuck. There are so many spiritual motherfuckers who think, oh yeah, it's all living life. Oh, I don't gotta do anything. I don't have desire. Fuck ambition. Fuck all that shit. Bitch, fuck you! What are you talking about? You don't even like your life. You're talking about fuck that shit. You want those things. You're full of it, bro. What are you saying to me right now? You're gonna tell me you don't want to make art? You're gonna tell me you don't want to impact people? You're gonna tell me you don't want to make money? You don't want to feel powerful? You don't want to spread your message? You don't want to do the thing that God has put on your heart? What are you saying? Oh, you're just gonna sit in here and meditate because you don't have any desire? You're full of shit, bro. You're a liar. You're not even speaking the facts. You're not even spitting the real right now. Stop the cap. Holy shit, bro. Get out of this spiritual ego shit, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. You have a purpose. God has put you here for a fucking reason. I'm here for a fucking reason. Do you think if I had those 2 mystical experiences that I told you about? Like, bro, if I had those 2 mystical experiences I told you about, but then I never, came on here and started, like, teaching about them, what the fuck would have been the point? I would have just been still in the mountains just fucking meditating. Yeah, I found God, but who cares? Who fucking cares? Yeah, it's great. I found God and it's nice for me. Guess no one else gets to find God. Tough on them, man. I mean, you guys are out. Like, what are you saying to me right now, bro? What? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. You need to come back down to earth so you can give your gift. That's what I've done, right? I've been sitting here yapping for 47 minutes. I've been giving my gift. I've been fucking yelling to this camera, being a spiritual philosopher, spreading the love of God, spreading the wisdom of God. Because that's all I fucking care about. I'm integrated. Yeah, I'm a spiritual being. And I walk around like I'm God's gift to this fucking human world. Because I am. And I'm a human. And I love my humanity. I want nothing else but to live the most beautiful existence I can in this human lifetime. I don't want to escape to, the cosmos and get out of this physical plane, bro. Fuck that. Life is fucking awesome, bro. I want to run this shit up. And you probably do too. But the world has told you you can't. Or, these spiritual motherfuckers have told you, oh no, you shouldn't do that, right? Like, a lot of Buddhist teachers teach that you shouldn't have desire. Even though the Buddha himself said, have few desires, but have great ones. It's not about not having desire, it's about having the bright desire. It's about having your heart's desires, not the body's desires. Your heart desires to spread the love and the wisdom of God. And so if you're not doing that, even though you know you could be, you're going to be feeling depressed. Because you're stuck in the cosmos instead of on earth giving your gift. So I need you to step out of here, come back down to reality. You can still visit Cosmic Woo-Wah Land. I love going there. I be there all the time. It's fucking sick. But I need you to live here. Because that's what God has called you to be. God put you here for a reason. So maybe you should figure out what that reason is, and then you should start actualizing it. Okay? You are not supposed to be like everyone else. You're supposed to be you. So maybe you should be you. And that starts with doing the things that are on your heart, even though they're scary. Doing the things that are in your mind, even though you don't exactly know how to do them. You know what I mean? Actually, oh man, this is the perfect example with this channel. This channel, right? This is literally a new channel I made. And yesterday, I had this idea. I've been actually thinking about this for like a few weeks of making like a new channel, making a new school community for like business and stuff like that. But I hadn't because there's just been like some business expensive stuff. I'm like, damn, I don't really have the income right now in terms of like actually like paying for school and stuff like that, like the website that hosts my program. But when I go on school yesterday, I get the idea. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it anyway. I go in there, and then I see that school has an entirely new plan that I actually can't afford. I'm like, holy shit! I wouldn't have known this if I didn't just take action. I'm sitting here trying to know everything before I start. It doesn't work like that, Jaden. You need to take steps before you know everything. Clarity is earned via walking in faith. So walk. All right? I need you to recognize that spiritual ego has been wanting to keep you in like spiritual woo-wah land because it's more comfortable there. It is. That's the truth. But when you come back down to earth, it's going to be better. You're going to feel more fulfilled because you'll actually be doing the things that God's called you to do. So let me ask you a question. Do you want to feel comfortable and not fulfilled, not really, giving your gift? Or do you want to like feel like, feel the struggle a bit? It's like, oh man, what the fuck? I don't really know what's happening. But at least I feel good knowing that I'm giving my gift to my people. At least I feel good, know that I'm showing up for myself. Know that I'm showing up for the things that God has called me to do today. How do you want to operate? Up to you, bro. My name is Jaden. If you don't know anything about me, I'm a mystic, I'm a philosopher, I'm a polymath, I'm a healer. It's my mission to help as many artists as possible live their most free and authentic lives by helping them understand who they truly are and helping them express who they truly are. That's why I'm so passionate about bridging the worlds of art, philosophy, mysticism, and intersexual dynamics. That's why I make videos here on YouTube. That's why I write and post audio podcasts over on Substack. And that's why I do what I do with my program over at Masters of Alchemy. And so if you want to take your journey to the next level, your mental health journey, your spirituality, your creating journey to the next level, if you're ready to shed the falsities, reprogram your mind, really step into being a consistent and fulfilled creator, come join my Masters of Alchemy program where you can join up. I'll give you a 30-minute onboarding call so we can talk about where you are, where you want to go. And then you can go through my 3 courses, my Block to Melons Creativity course, my Power of the Pen Journaling course, and then my Mental Alchemy 101. That's like a step-by-step guide with like action steps, actually like journaling prompts, questions for you to like contemplate and think about, things that actually will help you understand your mind so you can change how you think and change your life. So if you're ready to take your journey to the next level, come join us in Masters of Alchemy. That's the first link in the description, all right? Do it today. Be better for it tomorrow. Stay devoted. Stay inspired, baby.